Hi, my name is David Lim, and for my HAP 360 Teach 1 assignment, I will be working with project planning. For the assignment, you'll see that for the Do 1 assignment, it says, in this project, you are asked to plan implementation of an electronic health record in an organization using the work breakdown tasks described below. In the following tasks, training on a system can only be done if the system has been configured. So you'll notice that there are 4 major tasks here: patient information management, clinical information system, laboratory, and pharmacy. These will be considered your major tasks when making the schedule, and then underneath it, these other tasks, which are considered subtasks, will be implemented as well. So let's go ahead and go to MS Project. And once you're in MS Project, you'll notice that there is several columns here. The first thing you want to do is you want to go into Project here at the top and go to Project Information, and this is where you'll see the start and the finish date, and be able to set the kind of the schedule or the calendar that you like. So we're going to set it at January 1st. And then everything else you can leave the same. Make sure that calendar is set to standard, which just means that they'll be working on the schedule will be made according to a 5 workday week, excluding weekends. So press OK, and then the schedule will change and it'll get bumped up to January 1st here. For the first task name, you can go ahead and just name the plan. You can just make it something like electronic health record implementations plan, and then underneath it you can go ahead and put in the first major task, which should be patient information management. And underneath patient information management, you'll notice that there are 4 subtasks. So we'll go ahead and enter in the first major task, or first subtask, excuse me, which would be Enterprise Master Patient Index. You can designate that by using A or I, or whatever way you'd like it, just to make sure that you're not you easily are able to distinguish major tasks from subtasks. So Enterprise Master Patient Index, and you'll see there in parentheses it says configuration lasts 3 days. So that's another subtask under the subtask. So we're going to go ahead and put that in as well. And that's set. It said that it will last 3 days, so we'll put 3 days there. So the way to designate major tasks from subtasks is to use indentation. You go back to your task menu here, and then you'll notice these 2 bars, or two buttons. The first one is outdent, and the next one is indent. So you're going to go ahead and indent the second task here, and it designates that the first bar is bolded. And then you're going to go ahead and go to task 3, and you're going to indent it twice so that you can recognize that it's a subtask under the major task. And then for configuration, you're going to go ahead and indent it once more than you did for task 3, because it's a subtask of a subtask. So we're going to go and do the next next subtask, which would be patient registration. And underneath patient registration configuration, there's configuration and training. Configuration lasts for 3 days, and training lasts for 5 days. Go ahead and indent again, outdent. Sorry, this should be a B. Then we're going to do the third subtask, which would be admission, discharge, transfer. That has configuration and training as well. And configuration lasts for 30 days, and training lasts for 5 days. And lastly will be patient scheduling, which has configuration and training as well. Configuration will last 10 days, and training will last 5 days. So you notice the schedule is laid out here. The only thing that we don't have the start and the finish date. The way to designate start and finish dates is by using predecessors. And the way to do that is if you go ahead and move your little window here further to the right, you'll see that the next column name is predecessors. This basically just recognizes that or shows you when you're making the schedule here on the right that some tasks need to happen before other tasks can be completed. So the way to do that is by using the task number here on the far left. So for the first task, configuration, you won't be needing a predecessor because it's the first task. But once you get into patient registration here, you go to configuration. For configuration to take place, it says that it's required that the configuration for the Enterprise Master Patient Index is completed. So in order to distinguish that, we're going to use the task number here, 4. We're going to just put a 4 right here. And then for training, because training and configuration cannot be taking place at the same time, training always needs to take place after configuration. We will just use the task number here, 6, which shows that training can only take place after configuration. We're going to go ahead and do it for the last 2 subtasks. So for configuration of admission, discharge, and transfer, patient registration configuration is required, so we're going to put a 6 here. For training, it has to happen after configuration, so we'll put a 9. And then patient scheduling, it'll be 6 again because the one thing that it requires is the patient registration configuration. And for training, we'll put a 12 because it'll happen after the configuration of patient scheduling. So this is basically your schedule here so far for the first major task. You'll notice that the dates get automatically adjusted according to the number of days and the number of days it takes and what day it is. Like on Friday, it jumps to Monday. You'll notice here it doesn't have Saturday or Sunday because nobody works on Saturday and Sunday. At least for this project, we're assuming that. And you'll also notice that as we're changing up the days and the predecessors, you'll notice that the Gantt chart on the right here, the schedule is changed up a bit too, and you'll notice that things are layered. And yeah, if you have a scheduling conflict, if you have a conflict in schedule, excuse me, you'll notice I don't have any here because everything works fine, but you'll notice a squiggly line underneath a certain date, and then there are multiple ways of fixing that, but yeah, we won't go into that. Another way that I wanted to show you of designating predecessors is, I'm going to go ahead and delete this here. If you want to designate, let's say for training, you want to designate that the predecessor is configuration, you can go ahead and click on configuration and drag down to training, and then there's a button here called link the selected tasks. You can go ahead and click that. You'll notice that another 6 comes up here. That basically just links them together. Why is it important that we do that? It's because, like I said, configuration and training cannot take place at the same time. If we unlink these, then these 2 will take place at the same time. I know that it doesn't show here because we've already updated it, but if we were to start from the beginning, it would say 5 days because it would assume, the program is basically assuming that these 2 tasks are taking place at the same time. So it's important that you have predecessors to designate for the schedule and make sure that days are being calculated properly. So we want to go ahead and do the same thing for the rest of the tasks. So we're going to go back to Blackboard, and you see that there's 4 major tasks. The next major task will be laboratory. Be mindful that even though it's not second on this list, it is second in our schedule because it requires a configuration of systems in task 1, which is patient information management. So obviously that goes to saying that these tasks are not put in order. And if you notice, when I was doing the scheduling for the first major task, I did not start with admission, discharge, and transfer. So be mindful of that and make sure that, especially for this last task here, it'll be major. The order of the task will be 1, 3, 4, and 2. And 2 will be the trickiest because there's 10 tasks or 10 subtasks in here, so you have to be extra careful. And some tasks require a combination of tasks. You'll notice here, subtasks here. So just be careful of that. Lastly, I want to show you how to view the critical path in MS Project. So we're going to go back to MS Project here. In order to do that, there are two ways. You can do it for the left side and for the right side. To do it for the left side of the chart, you can go to View and then go to Highlight up here under Data. And then you'll notice under the drop-down menu you see Critical here. Just click that. And that'll show you which ones are critical and which ones are not. The other way for doing it for the right side is to go to Format here. And then you notice right underneath it just says Critical Text. You just click that, and it'll show you in red which tasks are critical. So yeah, that completes my teaching assignment, Teach 1 assignment, and you want to do the exact same thing that I did, but for the other 3 tasks. And then you'll notice that the chart will continue to grow. And if you see any squiggly lines, that just means that you have conflicts in your schedule and you need to fix it. So you can take care of that. The best way to do that is if you go up here to tasks, you'll notice there's respect links. That just tells the program to automatically adjust the schedule so that there's no conflict in schedule. That's probably the best way to do it. So yeah, thank you for listening.